Hi, Ed Diaz here. In today's video, we're going to show you how to use some of the preset sounds of the System-8 to learn about editing. So let's get started. So in my example here, I am using A-6, and that is an oscillator sync lead, and it sounds something like this. First thing I might want to adjust is maybe some of the pitch bend. So let's take a look at this, the pitch bend sensitivity, where we can adjust pitch and filter. So let's see what we have first by using the pitch, the bend sense. So I have it set to 0. Let's start it again. So it's set to an octave. And I can easily go in there and just move the slider, and you can see on the screen it's changing the pitch. I've already decided I kind of like mine to be about 50. So I like the +2, -2. So that's kind of where I like mine, so that's cool. And let's check out the filter right away. So no filter right now. Let's put some filter in here. Get a little bit of filter, and I'll go ahead and turn off that pitch. In there. So I have that. Now if we push forward on the modulation, we hear some of that pitch going on. So let's adjust that. And maybe use a little bit of filter. So make it really trippy right here. So right away we went ahead and adjusted the pitch bend and modulation just by using these sliders right here, and that's pretty cool. We can adjust the different pitches or filtering depending if we use it as a bend or if we use it as a modulation. Now let's go into the sound. Let's start adjusting the sound. And once again, one thing that I like to do and I think you should try is let's just go ahead and turn off the mixer and see what we have to work with. So I might come into here and turn, there's oscillator 1. That's cool. Let's turn it back down. Let's bring in oscillator 2. And notice it's sync, which that means that it makes sure that oscillator 1 and oscillator 2, the waveforms start at the exact same point, so it forces them. Let's go ahead and take it off and see what happens. So let me go ahead and turn on oscillator 1 and oscillator 2 together. And they're synced. Let's go ahead and turn off sync. It's a totally different kind of sound, and that might be because of this pitch right here. Let's turn that off. Do some adjustments. We had some LFO going, so I went ahead and turned that off so that we strip the sound. Let's go ahead and use our variation. So I'm going to go into number 2, and let me turn down oscillator 1 so it's off. And let's check out some of these other oscillators that we have. I might want to use this vowel. Let's give this a shot. Maybe take it down an octave. Let's do the 8 foot. Adjust the color of it. And now let's bring in oscillator 1. Let's go ahead and sync those and see what happens. Maybe adjust the color of that vowel a little bit more. Sounds pretty good. Now let's turn both of those off and go to oscillator 3. Oh, we got some nice low end going on. Sounds like we got the 1 octave sub. And now let's bring in everybody else a little bit. let's go ahead and change oscillator 1 and make him go up an octave. Now let's bring in oscillator 2. Notice it doesn't sound as good because they're both on the same octave, so we don't get that nice contrast. So you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take oscillator 1 and take him back down and put him back where he was, and let's bring in oscillator 3. And you know what, let's go ahead and adjust the fine tuning of oscillator 2. So let's make them slightly off. And let's try it without sync. Pretty cool, and I'll go ahead and turn both of those guys up. Pretty neat. Now let's go ahead and try a little bit of delay and see what happens. Now let's go ahead and put a little bit of, let's see what we have here. Let's try some phasers, see what happens. Adjust the tone. So pretty cool. So we just took that sound and we just totally changed it. We adjust the bend sensitivity over here on this side using the bend and also the modulation right there. We went in and explored a little bit of the oscillator 1, oscillator 2, and also a little bit of the sync. How the overall tone can change, the overall sound can change depending on syncing. So making those waveforms automatically sync together changes how they come out. And then of course we brought in some sub oscillator, give a little more body, some little bit of low end, but that's totally up to you. And then on this example, I didn't use any noise. I just wanted to use more of the lead. And then we added a little bit of, I believe what we added, a little bit of phaser, and we added a little bit of delay. So you guys try this out at home. You know, on these examples using some of the presets of the System-8, it's a great way for you to kind of learn programming, learn how to run around on your keyboard and in the synth side. So because sometimes starting from total scratch, you know, it might take a little bit, but this is a great way for you to learn. All right, so you guys try this at the house, and we'll talk to you later.